You ever have an HOA president so power-hungry, she thinks she's above the law? Well, ours, Karen, decided she had the right to cut my gate lock and seize my Jeep for what she called violation of community rules. She didn't know that my Jeep was registered under a federal program, and that cutting that lock would bring a whole police task force straight to her driveway. I live on the edge of an HOA neighborhood, technically outside their jurisdiction, but Karen never accepted that. She'd complain about my Jeep. It's too loud. It's military style. It ruins the neighborhood aesthetic. I ignored her, until I came home one day to find the padlock on my gate cut open and Karen standing there with 2 HOA board members. And my Jeep? Hooked up to a tow truck. I yelled, "Karen, what do you think you're doing?" She smirked, holding a clipboard. According to HOA bylaw section 12, unapproved vehicles are subject to seizure. I laughed. Seizure? You're trespassing on private property. But she didn't flinch. She said, "This is community property now." That's when I noticed she'd cut the lock, and I had the whole thing on my security camera. I walked back inside, calm as could be, and made one phone call to a contact from my Jeep's registration team. See, this wasn't just a Jeep. It was part of a veteran recovery program, technically under federal asset protection, which meant anyone tampering with it could be charged with interference with federal property. 10 minutes later, I heard sirens, lots of them. 3 black SUVs rolled up, lights flashing. A tactical team stepped out with vests that read Federal Property Division. Karen froze mid-sentence as one officer asked, "Who authorized the removal of this vehicle?" Karen stuttered, I'm the HOA president." The officer cut her off. "Ma'am, you are under investigation for unauthorized entry, property destruction, and attempted seizure of federal equipment." The color drained from her face. They separated her from the others, took statements, and confirmed everything with my footage. The tow driver was cleared, he was just following orders, but Karen wasn't so lucky. She was detained on site, handcuffed, and taken for questioning. Turns out, cutting a lock and towing a federally protected vehicle carries serious federal penalties. The HOA board later tried to distance themselves, but the damage was done. A week later, a federal notice went up on the HOA bulletin board. Any attempt to access or interfere with protected vehicles or property will result in prosecution. Karen was removed as HOA president, fined, and placed on probation. And me? I replaced the gate with a reinforced steel one, cameras on every corner. Now, every time I drive my Jeep, neighbors wave instead of complain. Moral of the story? If an HOA Karen ever tells you she owns your property, make sure she's ready to meet the